obvious question to start with. How's Romelu and how's Timo?
And to make the question a longer question, how is Christian Pulisic? They're both out for tomorrow. All three of them are out for tomorrow. Yeah, no big news. For Romelu and Timo. The thing I can say, they're out for tomorrow. They will be out for the Southampton game, and from there we see what's next. I don't think that it makes any sense that we go into speculations about how long this is going to be. Listen, if we would have done this with Christian Pulisic, it would have been, you would think maybe I'm a liar and I'm constantly lying and hiding something. But the fact is, you never know. Things can be shorter than expected and longer than expected. So the one thing I can tell you for sure, they're both in treatment and both are feeling positive, are not too worried, and are out for the next 2 games for sure, and then we see.
Because the prognosis that's been mentioned, not by you, but it's been 2 to 3 weeks for Romelu. Is that, in a way, given that you said he was overplayed, you've got the bottom 3 teams coming up in that period, is there any way that could be seen as a good thing, to give him a rest?
No, never a good thing. No, honestly, never a good thing. And I think like this role as favourites that we have now for some matches and had for some matches was a perfect role for Romelu to take pressure off other people's shoulders, to take the responsibility. He was mentally, and is mentally a bit overplayed, so like other players in our squad, but that does not mean that we constantly have to rest them. Jorginho is for me in the exactly same spot, and Mason Mount is in the same spot, and they played a fantastic match. So it is like this. They played a lot of competitions. They played the competitions with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of personal targets. And this is what we felt with Romelu. So we encouraged him to trust his instincts and let us do the thinking and the organizing of the structure, that he will be able to have the last contact. And this is what we did for the Malmö game. And I think against these, in a role as a favorite, he would be absolutely crucial for us. But honestly, like I said straight after the game, we cannot now constantly talk about who's injured. We have to find solutions, and we will find solutions because we trust our squad. And the guys who stepped in did a good match, and it's on them to keep on going tomorrow.
Well, 2 more questions. First one, just would you expect to see Romelu this side of the international break?
That worked very well, that we don't want to talk so much about the injured player. Well, anything I say now would be pure speculation. If I say, yeah, for sure, I expect him to see, and then we don't see him, what sense would it make? Tomorrow he's not with us, and that's what counts. And he gets our full support, same as Timo, same as Christian, because we want to have a full squad. But sometimes accidents happen, and it's an accident with Romelu, and was an accident with Christian. It's a bit different, like the situation with Timo. And from there, it sounds maybe way more harsh than I mean it. From there, it's about the players who are fit and can play.
So with Romelu and Timo both out for the time being,
yeah.
Do you have any regrets about letting Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, Michy Batshuayi leave the club?
No, because football does not work like this. You cannot keep a squad of 40 players and think like. But do you think that Tammy, Oli, and Michy would be in perfect shape now, but they haven't made it maybe to the 18-man squad in the last 6 weeks, and then they would be in the perfect shape? Of course, in theory, will be like this, of course, but in real life, you have to focus on 19, 20, 21 players. This is what we do. And like I said, nobody wants this to happen, and it's a lot of bad luck that now we have 2 injured players in the same position. So we have to find solutions, and we will find solutions, and we are focused on that. There's absolutely no worry about the decisions we did in summer.
Declan McCarthy.
Hi Thomas, good afternoon. Obviously with Werner and Lukaku out, we are expecting a bit of a false nine tomorrow. Just before Romelu Lukaku's injury, there obviously was a bit of a goal drought. Were you considering the false nine before he obviously got injured midweek?
Before he got injured? Yeah, well, but with Romelu? No.
Without Romelu?
Well, it depends. Without Romelu, we thought we can play with Timo as a number 9 or with Kai as a number 9, which is then maybe, like you call it, a false 9. For me, it's not so much of a false 9 because Kai is also very, very strong in the last line and behind the last line and in arriving in the box. For me, is a big strength of him. And when he plays the number 9, we want this from him, and he did against Malmö. So this is more what we expect from him tomorrow. I mean, if you buy Romelu and if you have Romelu in your squad, you have your number 9, and he is the reference up front to create some spaces around in half spaces and from second line. Okay, once we don't have him, the game will be a bit different. But in the end, we want the same power, we want the same amount of people in the same spaces in the opponent's box when we finish our attacks. That does not change.
And just finally from me, Thomas, on Kai, you mentioned him there. Probably not had as many minutes as he would have liked this season. Can you just tell us what he's been like, you know, behind the dressing room, in the dressing room, and towards yourself?
Well, to speak out the truth, there's only one way to make it to the pitch is performance, and to stay on the pitch is performance. There's no other way. Never was, never will be. And Kai was not on his personal highest level. Other people were closer to their highest level. We were winning, so it was now necessary that he waited for some matches, because we felt that other guys are in a bit of a better shape. So he did what he needed to do, and worked hard and showed some resilience and some compassion and motivation. Like, not motivation, he's always motivated, but like determination. That's the word, determination to score and be more decisive in training. And then he got some minutes against Brentford, and now it was necessary that he played 70 something minutes, and he scored, and he was dangerous, and here we go. There is so much talent, there's so much potential, he needs to show it. It's as easy as that. And you get the minutes you deserved, and there's only one thing to make it to the team is performance.
Alex Joey.
Hi Thomas, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks.
You know Daniel Farke well from your time at Borussia Dortmund when you're working there together.
Yeah.
Now up against him for the first time. How highly do you rate him as a manager?
I like him a lot, first of all, as a person, because he's a very nice and very humble person. He was coach of the second team when we were at Dortmund, and from there I met him, and it was like very nice to talk about him and watch training sessions from each other and have a close exchange, because we talked about players and used sometimes players in national breaks from him. So he's a very, very good manager in terms also of people's management. I would have liked to be a player under him, honestly, because I can imagine that he gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of trust. Listen, I'm super happy that he made it on highest level. He made it now twice in Premier League with the same club, which shows you that they trust him and they're not only judged by pure results, which is a very good thing, and it speaks for himself. And I hope that we can have the better end tomorrow. We will do everything to win against him, but he's doing a fantastic job, and hopefully he knows it.
Has recently said that they're not there to develop players from other clubs. Given that Billy Gilmour isn't getting many minutes there, would you like to see him back at Chelsea in January?
Well, I would love to. In general, I love Billy, and I always loved him. Was a big factor, even maybe not in the full spotlight in the last season when we came in the last half a year. He decided to go to have bigger chance to catch some minutes, and we thought, like, yeah, it is important First of all, I want him to perform. It's more or less the same question, how you make it into our teams by pure performance. And if you decide to go on loan, it's as simple as that. And I don't mean it harsh. You need to perform. You need to be on the pitch. You need to be the top player, no matter where you go. If you wanna make it back here and you want to improve your status. He's our player. We love Billy. We are very aware of what he can do, but changing a club is always a risk and is always a huge step, but it's always can also seem positive, needs to overcome adversity, and now is not the time to speak about coming back. It's time to fight for his place and show what he can do, and we trust him that he can play a role. And of course, nobody is obliged to let our players play. But no coach in the world will leave the best players out. So that's what he needs to prove, that he is that Norwich is a better team with him, and I trust that he can do it, and hopefully he does not lose this trust in himself and can turn things around again.
Okay, last two questions. Nick Pewell and Nizar to finish. Nick.
Hi Thomas. Just obviously an enforced break for Romelu then, that obviously he didn't want and you didn't want either, but is the challenge for him and the hope that, you know, he comes back a better player, obviously, when he's had an enforced rest, but also an opportunity just to freshen himself up, and, you know, it's almost like starting again if he comes back, perhaps?
Yeah, but the body did not demand this break, so it's not a muscle injury or something. It was an accident, so I don't follow this argumentation, because it's not like he had like I said, the body collapsed and he had a muscle injury, and now he is forced to take the break he did not want to have. It is just some percentage. You please don't underestimate the effort these players go through. They go to national team, they have preparations with the national team, then they go to the Euros. He has high expectations, then he has a disappointment, then he has a quick break, then he has a change of the club, then is the next national break, then is suddenly Nations League, then there is then he has the pressure on our shoulder, then he wants to be the top dog at Chelsea, and we want him to be the top dog at Chelsea. Okay, there's a lot of things going on. At some point you get tired. If you constantly turn the wheel and turn the wheel and turn the wheel, and you're constantly the guy who wants to turn it and you want to be the top dog and want to take the responsibility, you can get tired. And I'm talking about 3, 4, 5% maybe. And then suddenly you don't have the same enthusiasm that lacks a little bit. But there's no major problem. But these little things can make the difference. Though speaking about it sometimes helps, and I had the feeling that it helps him, that we can simply admit it, and admit also that there is no major problem, and we left him on the pitch, and I felt him very, very happy to be on the pitch when we took the decisions together before the Malmö match, and I felt him totally into the match, and we told him, trust your instincts, the thing will come back, luck will come back, we will create chances for you. And I can absolutely not see a positive thing in this injury. From now on, we will do what we do: make him come back as soon as possible, treat him as in the best way possible, be positive with him, and at the same side, in the same time, we need to push the guys who are here. It's always the same.
Last question in this section is on.
Hi Thomas, I want to talk about Hakim Ziyech. He's completed 90 minutes only once this season, left out versus Brentford and wasn't used against Malmo. Is it a physical thing with him, or is it tactical? And how does the international situation affect it as well?
Well, first of all, it's maybe the same line again. He fought his way into the team. He was in the team in the beginning of the season because of performance, because it was so obvious after the pre-season and the matches in pre-season that he has to be on the pitch. So to start from there, he was on the pitch, and then he had the injury, scored and had the injury in the Super Cup game. And from there, I felt that it cost him a lot, because maybe even until today, I don't feel him 100% free with his shoulders. And surely when we played him and we made him play over 90 minutes, or 90 minutes, okay, but we started him several times after that. I started him in Champions League and Premier League. I felt that even if it's maybe no pain, even if it's maybe unconscious, subconscious, there is something which limits him in his movements and in his freedom to move, to turn, and to accelerate and decelerate. And I think we need time, we need patience. He needs time and patience to fight his way back into the team. That's the way it is. We're looking for a spot. While he was out, some other guys performed, even like guys who came on from the pitch performed straight, and he's one of our players, and we will never lose trust, and we will never lose the patience with him, and he will stay an important player, I'm sure.